And welcome back to Let's Play East, Book 1 and 2. Last time we completed our quest to find the shrines of the priests of East, and we also stopped to do a little bit of money farming and, I guess, incidentally, some level grinding too. As you can see, I got 20,000 gold, which is a little bit more than what I needed, but I just wanted to have a nice little buffer zone there. It actually wasn't that bad. I just perched in the door that exited to the shrine area and just kept lobbing fireballs. It only took me about 10 minutes to get all the money I needed, and I got quite a few levels in the process. So we'll be sitting pretty for the next area that we're going to. Yeah, I'm just going to skip over the second tier armor altogether. The way I was grinding it wouldn't have helped at all, and besides, it would have just made it even slower to get this armor. But yeah, this will help out immensely when we get into the next area, because the strength of the enemies in East 2 ramps up pretty quickly. And unfortunately, without much grinding, you actually level up much slower in this game in comparison. So, East 2 is definitely the harder of the two games by a pretty significant margin. I'm just picking up an herb there because we've yet to have a way to actually heal ourselves in the field. Otherwise, we just have to head back to a healing area. Like I said, if you revisit Bernice, she'll heal you fully. One thing I forgot to mention is that this also covers your MP, so it's just like one of the priest's statue. Now to get to where we're going, we have to go back through the ruins real quickly. And I just want to make sure I got fire equipped, right? No, I do not. Oops, unequipped my shield by mistake. There we go, got fire equipped. Alright, let's head on back in. Now, when we hit the Statue of Fact, it mentioned that we heard an unlocking sound in the distance, and that was this door opening up. We go through this door, and we are in the Ice Park, our standard ice dungeon of the East series. We've got a little bit to do. This isn't a terribly long area, but it is pretty easy to get lost, and there are a couple of confusing puzzles along the way. As you can see, we're doing very good damage here thanks to the level ups we got. Now the first thing we want to do is head to this bottom left area, as there is a chest that we can get. You may have also noticed these ice slides. Also, I really like the detail of the frozen chests. Over here we get the Misty ice drops, which the purpose of these will be coming up in a little bit, but let's just check to see what it does. The Misty ice drops can help you to freeze the water in the air. So basically, any loose bit of water vapor in the air we can freeze to make, who knows, maybe even a bridge. Now you may have noticed a couple of these ice slides. Try to walk up them, you can't make it. Some of them it looks like you can just barely make it, but nope, you can't make it. We need a special item to help us get up them. I'm going to be taking the direct path to everything that we need to get to in the ice park because it's kind of a confusing layout, and I just don't want to get caught up on things too much. Sorry if we don't get much time to stop and admire the beauty. Although we can much more safely combat things by just running into them, I still prefer to use the fireball because it's very easy to get killed. Alright, this door here just leads into a dead end, but you may notice that this little outcropping here, well, let's just put on our Misty ice drops. And voila! We can bridge the gap with the Misty ice drops. I actually got stuck here because I thought that you would use the Misty ice drops over here, and I had noticed that outcropping, but I wasn't sure the exact placement you had to be. You just have to be right up to it to use the Misty ice drops on it. So yeah, that was another situation where I had to use a guide. I also had to look up a guide for this right here. Yeah, if you were able to find this on your playing on your own without any help, I have much respect for you, because this is very easy to miss, and it's easily one of the best items in the game, the Cape of the Holy Spirit. What does this do? When you equip it, it's just like the heal ring from the first game. Causes you to regenerate health even in dungeon areas. Very useful item, very easy to miss. I went through almost the entire game when I first played this with not knowing where it was, and I cracked and looked up a message board and found out that it's way back in one of the first areas in the game. Okay, well this is more like the third area in the game, but you get the idea. Relative to where I was, it was very early in the game when I missed it. It's funny going onto GameFAQs and reading several of the walkthroughs for this game, because most of them were released in 1999 or 2000, and one of them just has a huge section for the items in East 2, and most of them just say, I don't know where this is. That era of guide writing where you could do that. Now we're in the west area of the ice park, and we've got quite a few items to grab. This is where the bulk of our item collecting is going to be happening. But yeah, having the Cape of the Holy Spirit makes this game immensely easier. If you don't have it, your only other option for healing is of course the herbs, and you only get one of those per dungeon trip, so very frequently you just have to go back to town to buy another one. And since the further you get into the game, the further away you get from Rance Village, so you have to use the return spell to return to Rance Village, then you have to use the return spell to return to the town closest to where you were, so it gets pretty MP intensive if you rely on herbs strictly for healing. Here's another little puzzle, but this one's a lot easier. Just use your fireball to destroy these ice blockages. That one I didn't need a guide to figure out. And we get the magic of Transform. Now what does this transform us into? Well, let's check it out. As you can see, this is actually the 5th magic, but we did not miss the 4th one. For whatever reason, the 4th one is actually way later in the game. Anyways, we put on the magic of Transform, and look, we're a cute little yellow demon. And we can converse with the monsters now. Huh. Monster carrying a girl off to the Solomon Shrine. Wonder if we can resolve that. Now, the way being a demon works is that you can talk to monsters, and it just passively drains MP as you have the spell equipped. I didn't mention it earlier because we didn't really have a very long time to utilize it, but this is how the light spell works as well, is it just drains MP passively. While you are a demon, you do not get attacked by monsters, and in fact, you can talk to them. You mean these shoes? Great hiding spot. Each monster has dialogue based on the type of monster that it is, so not every monster has unique dialogue, just each monster type has unique dialogue. The Transform spell is very useful for getting through areas without having to fight anything, but I like to keep it off for the most part because we really need the experience and money. The stuff that we got at the first town, the most expensive stuff was like 10,000, 8,000, 5,000. The most expensive equipment that we have to get from the last shop is 20,000 a piece, I think. I forget that the shield's a little bit cheaper, but I know at least the armor and the sword is 20,000. We're gonna need a lot of money to get that. Alrighty, so to get up these ice slides, we just have to equip our stone shoes. But we don't want to go to the boss area yet, and in fact, we can't get into the boss area yet. That door you saw there, that was an illusion. We're going to need some way of breaking the illusion to actually get to the boss area. And you may have noticed that back in the East Park, there was actually some ice slides that we couldn't go up, but clearly had chests at the top of them. So we'll be heading there, too. Let's get up this ice slide real quick. Grab this chest. And we get the Idol of Hawk. Now, what does this do? Well, the Idol of Hawk is the first of 2 idol items, and what those do when you equip them is it adds a tracking effect to your Fireball spell. So you have that in your inventory, and your Fireball will home in on enemies. This actually isn't very useful because it tries to evenly distribute the fireballs, so what will frequently happen is you're firing at one enemy, then you fire the second shot and it veers off to an enemy way in the distance. It is a really useless item, I don't really like using it. Alright, so I didn't read the Scroll of Guidance first time, and it mentioned that, fact mentioned that when we go to statues it will change its text. So let's check out what it has to say initially. So this looks like it's a first-hand account of the fall of Ys. Alright, well, let's touch this first goddess statue. Alright, let's see what it's got for us. Alright, so it looks like we're going to need another item to actually see through the illusion of the fake door. Let's try out our Cape of the Holy Spirit. Let's set the game speed to fast so this goes a bit more quickly. But yeah, if I had decided to use my herb right there, then if I needed healing again, I'd have no choice but to warp back to Rand's village to pick up another one. But with this, it's much, much easier and much more forgiving to get through the game. Now, the item we need to get through the illusion is actually back in Ice Park East. It was one of those items that was at the top of the stairs we couldn't get through. As you can see it right there. Alright, we need to get back to the bottom left part. The very annoying thing about the Ice Park is that there's a lot of different staircases, but many of them just lead you in circles, so it's very annoying to get around if you don't know the exact way you have to go. Heck, that cave door at the top there, that actually took me a while to find, because I just kept going in circles by going through the different staircases. And many of them just lead to dead ends, like that. How close am I to my next level up? Let's see, 27,500. The extra levels I got from my money farming should be more than enough for the upcoming boss. If it's not, well, it's not the first time in this game I've eaten my foot on that. Alright. And we get the customary magical mirror that every RPG has. Hooray. But as you can probably guess from the name, that is the item that we need to break the door illusion. So, back to Ice Park West. Yeah, this is definitely an area where if you don't know what to do, you're going to be spending a lot of time in it, but since I do know what to do, we can just get through it way, way faster. Let's see, how long did I spend in this stupid park in my first playthrough? It must have been at least 2 hours. I was just trying to figure out what the heck you had to do. Although, fortunately, most of that was just spent blundering around Ice Park East. When you get to Ice Park West, the area becomes a lot more straightforward. And actually, I'm not joking when I say we're getting through this very quickly. We just got the item we need to get to the boss room, and fighting the boss is the last thing you have to do in Ice Park, and then you head to the next area. Alright, let's go back over to Ice Park West. Yeah, I just realized I don't think I've had to save it all yet in this video. Of course, that might not exactly be indicative of anything good. It might just mean I'm way overconfident. But I should be. I've got all this awesome equipment, we got a bunch of good levels, and these guys are no threat to us, unless I let them be. But yeah, we came here with like 2,000 gold, and right now we've only got 4,500, so yeah, you can see it's a very slow-going process. It's not like we didn't kill a lot of things on the way here. It's not the next town that we come across that has the 4th tier equipment, it's the town after that, but even by then, at most, you're probably going to have enough to buy just one of the pieces of equipment that you can get there. Ah, jeez. That's one of the downsides of the fire spell, is that sometimes it can launch enemies back into you. It's very weird how that happens. Alright, before we break the illusion, we're first going to want to put on the Cape of the Holy Spirit. Oh, I didn't even realize that I didn't... Get out of here. I got the Cape of the Holy Spirit so late, I never really got to play around with it. I didn't even realize you could use the fire spell and still benefit from the healing. That is pretty good to know, honestly. Alright, let's do it. So yeah, just realizing it's an illusion is not enough. We have to have the illusion mirror to reveal to us the real door. Alright, let's get to slow speed. Got all my equipment lined up properly. Just like the last game, rings don't actually benefit you in the boss fights, so there's no sense in equipping the Claria ring just for the odd chance that it might actually nullify a hit. Let's go on in. And this is a kind of a neat little boss. Whoop! Jumps towards the screen, hops down, shoots out fireballs. This is how the boss works. You just have to hit him when he lands. As you can see, wonky hit detection. The bosses in East 2 definitely have bigger problems with their hit detection than the bosses in East 1, because you actually have to be more active in hitting them. Yeah, like that was very clearly a hit, but it just went through him. In fact, I think my positioning was more off that time, but it hit him. You can get him with multiple fireball blasts in a single landing, but it requires you to be very close, and it's very likely that you will get hit by a retaliating shot. Also, you may notice that this is the first boss we've come across that has full health. That's going to be the case for pretty much every boss we come across from this point on. Oop. Luckily, this is actually pretty easy as far as the East 2 bosses go. There are way tougher ones we're going to be coming across. He can be a bit tricky when you need to figure out the timing on his pattern, and as you can see, the hit detection is just way less than stellar. But he's not too bad. I seriously don't know how that wasn't a hit. I was standing right next to him. Oh, I walked into that one. That's bad. And I think this is the first time the music has actually Oh, man. I'm never gonna live that one down. Not like I was going to live down the rest of the times I completely embarrassed myself. Alright, let's go. Yeah, this is... Oh, what?! You gotta be kidding me with that. Oh, jeez. I'd like to say that, for the record, this boss is really annoying, if nothing else. Can't hit him multiple times, but he can certainly do that to you. I just realized I was way too close to the door there. I don't want to accidentally go through it and start the fight over. That's especially annoying if you don't have the Cape of the Holy Spirit, because you've likely already used your herb at this point. Come on, why do I keep doing that? Ugh. And once again. Yeah, this boss is definitely much less interesting the subsequent times you fight him, because there's not really any way to make this go faster. Yeah, in fact, due to the way more oh man, I should not have done that. Due to the way more pattern-based nature of the East 2 bosses, a lot of them go way slower than the East 1 bosses. Oh. At least that was just a glancing blow. Let's get out of the way. Slow and steady wins the race for most of these fights. I think my problem is that I'm just way too aggressive to try and make this go faster. But as you can see, he is an easy boss. I'm just terrible. And that's going to take a while from this point on because we've got so much HP and MP. Alright, let's head on to the next area. Just make it through this staircase. And blammo, we're already at the fire area, so we are cycling through these video games settings very quickly. Feels like someone's watching us, but we don't have time for that. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and when we come back next time, we will be continuing through Burnland. I hope you enjoyed watching, and please, have a nice day.